If you have been collecting 3D printing models from Patreon or Kickstarter for more than a year, your hard drive likely looks like this. Hundreds of gigabytes of data, scattered across thousands of disconnected folders and compressed archives. When you want to find one specific wargaming miniature, you have to remember which monthly release it was in, locate the zip file, extract its contents to a temporary folder, and load it into a slicer. Then you wait. Most STL viewers require the computer to parse the entire uncompressed file before rendering a single polygon to your screen. For a high-detail miniature, that means staring at a loading bar for 10 to 30 seconds per file. This extraction tax drains your creative time. Instead of preparing models for the printer, you are forced to act as a digital file janitor. The problem compounds with how creators distribute files. A single character model might be released in its base form one month, as a pre-supported version the next, and later as a variant with fixed geometry. Because standard formats like ZIP and RAR store data in total isolation, each of these slight variations traps a complete, independent copy of the original base mesh. You cannot fix this by running a standard duplicate file finder. Because the pre-supported or exported files have minor data differences, traditional byte-for-byte deduplication completely misses them. The result is a library where up to half of a massive 400 gigabyte collection is just deadweight, the same geometries stubbornly trapped in isolated silos. Neurochrome Vault solves this redundancy by ignoring the file system entirely. To clean up the library, the software analyzes the raw geometry. When you import a 3D model, the Vault breaks it down into microscopic data chunks. Every single chunk is assigned a unique mathematical fingerprint, known as a Blake 3 hash, creating a perfect index of the shape. If you download a newly modified version of that model, like a pre-supported variant, the Vault dissects it and compares the pieces against your existing library. The chunks that match your current files evaporate. The system saves only the genuinely new geometric additions, linking them directly back to the original core structure. By operating below the file level, Neurochrome Vault transforms a disconnected pile of zip archives into a single efficient ecosystem of shared geometry. This chunk-level organization also eliminates the 30-second loading screens. Because the Vault already knows exactly how the geometry is organized, it does not need to wait for a massive 120 megabyte file to fully parse. It streams the data progressively. The viewer renders the shape instantly as the first chunks arrive, while the remainder loads quietly in the background. Tested on a 116 megabyte STL file stored on a standard USB 3.0 drive, the time to first frame drops to under 800 milliseconds on a cold open. Combining sub-second rendering with the ability to look inside archives without extracting them removes the friction of browsing. Navigating thousands of models feels instant. When we zoom out and apply this architecture to a multi-year collection, we can see the impact of this efficiency at scale. In a real-world test on a Wargaming Vault containing 362 distinct releases from 85 different creators, the volume of redundant data was immense. A raw library size of 396 gigabytes compresses down to a 197 gigabyte on-disk footprint. Despite shedding half of its weight, your library remains completely intact. The software modifies zero geometry, and any file exported from the Vault is bit-for-bit identical to the original. This architecture ensures that as your collection grows, its footprint doesn't have to. You can keep adding new releases without the library collapsing under the weight of its own redundant data. With the data structured efficiently, searching across tens of thousands of tags, creators, and file names happens in milliseconds. Beyond the speed and space savings, this system prioritizes the sovereign ownership of your digital assets. Neurochrome Vault operates entirely offline. There are no cloud dependencies, no mandatory accounts, and no monthly subscription fees. It translates digital chaos into permanent, lightning-fast order, so you can stop managing your hard drive and get back to your craft.